उद्घाट्य योगकलया हृदयाब्जकोशं धन्यैश्चिरादपि यथारुचि गृह्यमाणः यः प्रस्फुरत्यविरतं परिपूर्णरूपः श्रेयस्समे दिशतु शाश्वतिकं मुकुन्दः अमरीकबरीभारभ्रमरी मुखरीकृतं दूरीकरोतु दुरितं गौरीचरणपङ्कजं परस्परतपःसम्पत्फलायितपरस्परौ प्रपञ्चमातापितरौ प्राञ्चौ जायापतिस्तुमः. So we saw two varieties of Pratīpa. So the first variety is where the Upamanam and the Upameya Vaiparitya Bhavam Anubhavatah. So both of them are switched over here. So Prasiddha Upamanasya eva Upameyatvam. So whatever is the Prasiddha Upamanam, that has now become the Upameya here. So Tvallochana Samam Padmam. So samam, in this example, we saw that samam is the upama vachaka shabda. Upamanam is actually padmam, which is the usually we consider padmam or the lotus as the prasiddha upamanam, but now that has taken the position of upameya. And lochanam, which is the varnyam, that which we have to describe here, the eyes of the Nayika have now taken the position of upamanam. So this is the basic Pratilomyam, or this is the basic Vaiparithyam that we are talking about. So the first type of Pratīpa. Now the second type, he adds something else to this existing Upamana Upameyasya Tatra Vaiparitye. He adds one more condition there, which is Garva. So that is Anadara. Anadaraha of the Upamanam. So Alam Garvena Te Vaktra Krantya Chandropi Tadrishaha. So Varnyasya, whatever we want to describe here is actually the Mukham. That is usually the Upameya. And which is the Upamanam here? Chandra has to be the Upamanam. Chandraha api Tadrishaha Vaktra Sadrishaha eva Vartate. So just as how we did Tvallochana Samam, in the same manner, here also the Upamanam has become the Upameya. Chandra, the moon, which is the Prasiddha Upamanam, has now become the Upameya here. Vaktram, the face of the Nayika, which we usually describe, is the Varnyam, which has to be the Upameyam. Now that has taken on the position of Upamanam here. And then he has also included Alam Garvena, enough of all this. So Varnyasya, the Vaktram, which is the Varnyam, which is actually supposed to be the Upameyam. Now he is showing a bit of anadara. Anadara is tiraskara. You don't need to feel very arrogant about yourself. You're trying to say that you are less than the prasiddha upamanam, which has now become the upameya. Okay. This is the second pratīpam. Now the third pratīpa is a pratilomyam, that is, it is a vaiparithyam from the second pratīpam, wherein instead of varnya anadaraha, you're going to have avarnya anadaraha. So we'll look at the text and then as a conclusion, we'll look at all five next. Okay. So we'll do the text first, because without the sentence, without the examples, we can't understand if I put it in this format. Okay. So I'll share the text right now. Tritiyam Pratīpam. Varnya Upameya Labhena Tatha Anyasyapi Anadaraha. So Varnya Labhena. Here it is the original Padartha, which usually is the Upameya, is going to be taken only as the Upameya. Whatever is a Prasiddha Upamanam will be taken as the Prasiddha Upamanam. The only difference is you are showing a Tiraskara for the Avarnya, which is the Upamanam. So Varnya Upameya Labhena, you have gotten your Upameya here, which is your natural, whatever you want to describe, that you have gotten that. So because of that Labha, Anyasya, whatever is the Upamanam, you are showing an anadara or a disrespect towards the Upamanam. Go back to the beginning where we studied Upama. Usually the Upamanam is like the standard of comparison. So it should be Utkarsha Varnana eva tatra bhavitavya. So it has to be described as something which is much superior to the Varnyam. And you're only taking in a quality and trying to say, oh, my Varnyam is as beautiful as that. because that is our standard measure. That sort of an upamana and upameya bhava are maintained in the Tritiya Pratipam, but where does it become Pratipa? Pratipa is Vaiparithyam, right? Contradictory. Where does it become contradictory? It becomes contradictory to the earlier example, wherein the earlier you said, Alam Garvena Te Vaktra. Oh face, you need not feel very arrogant about yourself. There is the moon also. Here he is going to show an anadara towards the upamanam. So the example here is kaha kraurya darpaha te mrityo tatulya santihi striyaha. He mrityo, mrityuhu yamadharmaraja. So, death, what is why do you have such an arrogance towards your crauryam, cruelty? So, mrityu is always known for cruelty, that is, it just attacks us at a time when we are caught unawares by it. So, there is a cruelty associated with mrityu. But here the poet says, Kaha kraurya darpahate. Why do you have to have this false arrogance about your cruelty? Tvattulyaha striyaha santi. Mrityu tulyaha striyaha santi. So the mrityu is your upamanam here. Striyaha santi, the women are present because they are also equally cruel like you. We are caught unawares about their attitude or behavior. You don't know how they are going to behave. So, striyaha, women are also equally cruel in their nature. So, this is probably some Nayaka who has been rejected by the Nayika, or, he is trying to pacify a woman who is angry. So he is saying, Kaha kraurya darpaha te mrityo tvattulyaha santi striyaha. So striyaha is your upameyam. Upamanam is mrityu. But he is also saying, upamanasya anadaraha uchyate atra. And krauryam becomes the samana dharma here. Okay. Mean எடுத்துக்கலாம். Yes. But meanங்கிறது womenக்கு சொல்லலாம். Cruel is more like it. Krauryamங்கிறது அதுதான்.
Is it kaha kraurya darpaha? Because in the Rasika Ranjani Anvaya it says kwa.
Huh?
Instead of kaha, it is saying kwa.
Kraurya darpaha te, அது வந்து ஹிந்திக்காரர்.
So in the actual Samskrita,
here it says kaha kraurya darpaha ityeva samskrite vartate. That is the Rasika Ranjani Vyakhyana.
Okay.
Okay, so that is what you need to take.
And should the disrespect be normally shown by Bahuvachanam? Because in the second one also we had like Neela Nalinani, there was a Bahuvachanam. Here also Striyaha Bahuvachanam.
No, Striyaha is not the Anadara. Striyaha, it can Poduva. பெண்கள்லாம் இருக்கறச்சே உனக்கு என்ன இப்படி அப்படின்னு கேக்குறோம்.
No, but
not necessary. In the earlier example, it was not Bahuvachanam here. Alam garvena te vaktra kantya chandraha tvatsadrishaha bhavadrishaha iti asti. So where is the Bahuvachanam here?
Okay.
So that doesn't matter. It depends on what you want to describe. That's all.
Okay.
You can change the first example in the manner of this. On the second example, right? You can say Alam garvahate Chandra asti eva mama priyasya mukham.
But
you can change it, right?
Okay. Yes, you can.
That will not be the second Pratipam. Then that will change into a
third Pratipam. Yeah, that's what he's saying. You can change it also, but that's okay. So, yeah, someone wants to read the vritti?
Mahoday, I have a quick question.
Sure.
Just wanted to know if I understood this concept right. So, when you have the well-known standard upamanam to be the upameyam and the upameyam becomes the upamanam, it is the pratipam here. So, that is the opposite of upama. 1
and 2.
So
not the third.
Yeah, the first and second. So, but my question is, so now we don't give the proper respect or attention, or when we slide the conventional upameyam, then it becomes the second variety of pratipam. right?
Yes. Yes.
So in the third variety, I suppose the conventional upamanam is being slated.
Yes.
So, for me, it's a little confusing if I don't use the word conventional, because in the vritti they say well-known upamanam, like that. Because when we say Pratīpa alankaram itself, angaye the upameyam and the upamanam get exchanged. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right.
for example, in the upama alankara, the lady's face is compared to the moon. So her face
Okay.
is the upameya and the moon is the
Okay.
upamanam.
Okay.
But in Pratīpam, the moon is compared to her face. So automatically the moon becomes upameyam and her face is the
Correct.
upamanam. Now,
Correct.
when we have a special case under this called the Dvitiyam Pratīpam, the vritti
Anadara happens.
the vritti says that the upameyam is slighted. But according to our Pratīpa alankaram, the moon is our upameyam, right? So, but our face adane anga tiraskaram pandra. So that's what I don't understand.
திரஸ்காரம் பண்ற வார்த்தை வந்து ஸ்லோகத்துல இருக்கு. நீ பொதுவா உபமான்னு எடுத்துட்டேன்னா in general upameya is not as good as the upamanam becomes your standard of measurement, and that is the utkrishta vastu. Upameya is the apakrishta vastu. But when I describe saying hamsiva krishnate kirtihi swargangam avagahate, I am not saying why are you unnecessarily you are not slighting either the upameyam or the upamanam in upama alankara.
Right.
Here the aspect of anadara comes in to give you that difference between upama and pratīpam.
Okay.
adana kekra.
Yeah. எனக்கு மெயினா வந்து இந்த எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச்ட் ஸ்டேட் அவ எடுத்துக்கிறது இல்லையே when they
இதுல எடுத்துக்கல. yeah, exchanged state எடுத்துக்காத, how do you come to the conclusion that this is also pratīpam? We don't take the exchange state, yes, but because there is an extra addition of anadara being shown towards the upamanam, which is supposed to be utkrishta, you're actually அத கொஞ்சம் இறக்கி சொல்றோம். அதுதான் வசதியா இருக்கணும், ஆனா அத வந்து கொஞ்சம் மட்டம் தட்டி சொல்றோமே இந்த இடத்துல. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஏழை டிஃபரன்ஸ்ல இருந்ததுன்னா தான் அலங்காரமே அங்க. There is a difference between upama and pratīpam. Why is it called pratīpam? Because this is viparītyam to the second pratīpa.
Okay.
Only in first pratīpa that upamana and upameya are exchanged, right? But
the second one
they
also
just say varn. Do they really exchange, or they just slight the upameya in second and slight the upamana in third, right? They do not
but it inherits it, right?
अत्र उपमानस्य उपमेयत्व कल्पने समाने अपि चन्द्रः भवादृशः. सो भवादृशः इत्यत्र वक्त्र सदृशः भवति, तर्हि वक्त्रं तु तत्र उपमानत्वेन एव स्वीक्रियते. Okay, so upamanasya tu chandraha becomes the upameya in the second category. It does. So it is the same as the first pratīpam. The only addition that you are doing is varnyasya anadaraha. You take it as varnyam. So anya upameya labhena atra vaktrameva varnyatvena swikaraniyaha, kintu चन्द्रस्तु अत्र उपमेय रूपेण अत्र लभ्यते इति कारणात् वर्ण्यस्य, which should have been the varnyam, you have now taken it as upamanam and you are also slighting it a little bit.
You're saying that in the third variety, by
third
slighting it,
we are only trying to explain the second variety.
Okay.
Don't bring in the third now.
இப்போ டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணது செகண்டா ஃபர்ஸ்டா?
செகண்ட்லயே வந்து she is
okay, in the second variety where the upamana, traditional upamana is the upamana, the traditional upameya is the upameya, but we are doing tiraska where we said that mrityu and the
அதுக்கு இன்னும் வரல, இது முதல்ல முடிச்சிருவோம். அதுக்கு இன்னும் Shobha has a doubt in this. That is why we have to finish this and go, இல்லனா கன்ஃபியூஸ் ஆயிடும்.
Okay, because so your statement that the spirit of the way I understood it, the spirit of the pratīpa lies not merely in the interchange of the upamana upameya, but in the fact that the tiraskara is being done, whether implicitly or explicitly. I think that is very fascinating, because in the first example of the pratīpam, even though there is no word for anadara or tiraskara, yet there is an implicit tiraskara because you've interchanged the positions. It is a tiraskara of the prasiddha upamanam.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah. We can take it as implicit, but alankara here, arthalankara is always what is vachyam.
Yeah.
That is necessary. So if it is not vachyam, then that anadara need not even be considered there. Because if you consider the anadara in the first pratipam, then your second pratipam and that will get confused.
Okay. It's just a matter of whether it's vachyam in the second one.
Yes. Be very clear about that.
Right. And in the third one, it is still, there is no interchange, but it is vachyam.
Yes. Okay, Shobha, you're clear with this, right? With the second one. He uses the word varnya, but the varnya which should have been varnya has now become the upamana, and yet there is an anadara to that varnyam. That's how you to understand it. Okay.
Okay.
Now we move on to the third one. The third one here, you have the same upamanam is the upamanam, upameya is the upameya, but instead of having a upameya anadara, you have the upamana anadara. That's all. Okay. Varnyam. Someone, yaar particular. Through volunteer panlana. Swati. Okay.
Varnye yat upameyam tasya
Varnyam yat upameyam. So we are trying to do a nirvachanam for the shloka here. Yeah. So varnya upameya labhena. So varnyam yat upameyam.
Varnyam yat upameyam tasya labhena अन्यस्य अवर्णस्य प्रसिद्ध उपमानस्य अनादरः अपि तथा तृतीयं प्रतीपम्.
So varnyam yat upameyam, that which has to be described is your upameya. Tasya labhena, because I have gotten the upameya. Anyasya, avarnyasya, which is the upamanam, prasiddha upamanam. Tasya anadaraha atra drishyate. So this is the third variety of Pratīpa.
Then this would be similar to upama, right?
Based on upama.
Based on upama.
Model first step upama, seri, irkla. But that is not the expression here. Ellame aprom, you will start thinking that, oh, this is also upama, this is also upama. Try to see the difference from that.
Okay.
Utkrishta.
Utkrishta gunataya anyat upameya asahamanasya avarnyasya varnyam upameyam pradarshya anadaraha api pratipa bheda iti arthaha.
Utkrishta gunataya anyat upameyam asahamanasya avarnyasya. So that's what I said. A prasiddha upamanam is usually, as we said, it's a standard. So that will be the utkrishta vastu, sreshta vastu in that particular category. So mrityu is the ultimate vastu or ultimate person when you think about cruelty in the world. So he has a pride with respect to his cruelty. Utkrishta gunataya, because mrityu has that utkarsha with respect to krauryam. Anyat upameyam asahamanasya. It cannot tolerate the fact that there is another thing which is also as cruel as himself. So asahamanasya, avarnyasya, upamanasya, varnyam upameyam pradarshya. No, you're saying, see, enough of all what you're feeling. There is another varnyam, there is something that I want to describe, which is probably as cruel as you are. So varnyam upameyam pradarshya. You're showing a varnyam and anadaraha api. At the same time, you're not stopping with just saying Tvattulyaha striyaha santi kraurye iti. You're not stopping with that. But you're saying Kimartham darpaha vartate. You're also slighting the upamanam here.
In this aspect, is Ananvaya Alankaro has the Anyasya Upamana Asakamanas. Because that also doesn't tolerate it, right? It has to be compared, wants to be compared only with itself.
But nobody is trying to give another object there as a comparison. Is it there in the Vachyartha?
Not in the Vachyartha.
Adu venu.
Okay.
Adu irundada. Inge you have mrityu, you have stri, you have tulyatvam also here.
हे मृत्यो ते क्रूरता गर्वेण अलं तव गर्वो मास्तु क्रौर्ये त्वत् तुल्याः स्त्रियः सन्ति इति उदाहरणम्.
This is simple. புரியுது இல்லையா?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be so proud of your cruelty. There are women who are equal to you in cruelty. अत्र वर्ण्यम् उपमेयं क्रूरस्त्रियः तल्लाभेन मृत्योः अवर्ण्यस्य क्रौर्यविषये प्रसिद्ध उपमानस्य अनादरवर्णनात् लक्षणसमन्वयः द्वितीयप्रतीप
वैपरीत्यात् एवम्
एव इदं प्रतीपम्.
So Varnyam is Krura Striyaha Tallabhena. Because I have gotten women for cruelty, Mrityoho Avarnyasya Kraurya Vishaye Prasiddha Upamanasya Anadara Varnanat. There is also a slighting of the Upamanam. You are trying to put that down by saying, in Kraurya, I have another thing which is equal to you. Iti Lakshana Samanvayaha. This is in contradiction to the earlier Pratīpa. It is, that's all, there is that Vaiparityam or Pratipatvam in this alankara just comes about by the fact that it is opposite to the earlier Pratīpa. Okay. There are other Vyakhyatas who do not accept this. So he says that Vastutaha, this is not considered as a Pratīpa at all. This is considered as a different kind of Upama. Okay. I didn't want to start off with that. If I started off with that, then this kind of Pratīpa will never stick in your mind. According to Appayya Dikshita, he says this has to be treated as a different variety of Pratīpa and not as Upama or something like that. So the Vyakhyata here, he says, Idamatra Chintyam, we have to think about it. Prasiddha Upamana, Upameya Bhava, Pratilomyat, Pratīpam iti Anvartham Nama Dattam. Initially, he started off by saying that Pratīpa is all about switching the Upamana to the Upameyatvam and the Upameya to the Upamanatvam. If that is not at all present here, Tathasati, Yatra Tadrisham Pratilomyam Nasti. If in this case there is no switching of Upamana and Upameya, then how can we call it as a Pratīpa alankara at all? Tat katham Pratīpa alankara bhedatva kalpanam iti. Vastutaha tu asya Pratīpa bhedatvena parigananam na yuktam. It is not proper for us to even consider this as Pratīpa alankara. Upama prabhedatvam parikalpya anadara upama iti namakaranam samuchitam. So we will have to take this as anadara upama and not as the tritiya pratīpam at all. Purva pratipa vaiparityat pratīpam iti tu na samichinam. It's not correct to say that it is because it is opposite to the second type of Pratīpa. This is also another variety of Pratīpa. It's like a lazy approach. Instead, you can put it under Upama. Some Vyakhyanams also give this kind of a explanation for this Pratīpa. Is it clear?
Is this one of the Vyakyakara who ridiculed the Chandra, some other book of Appayya Dikshita? There were a few people who...
I'm not sure, but there is a tippani here in Rasikaranjani where he talks about all those different kinds of idla potrukara illa vera idliyo potrukkarnu nenikiren idla da irukku nenikiren.
But what is Appayya Dikshita's opinion?
Appayya Dikshita says this is the second. See, if you look at the original vritti, Ati utkrishta gunataya kvachit api upamana bhavam asahamanasya avarnyasya varnya varnyam upameyam parikalpya tavata tasya tiraskaraha purva pratipa vaiparityena tritiyam pratīpam. Is very clear about that. He says this is in contradiction or this is opposite to the second variety of Pratīpa. Hence, I call it as the third variety of Pratīpa.
Got it. And then the Vastutaha, the another Upama, that whole section was not in Appayya Dikshita's commentary, but Rasikaranjani is applying that, or somebody else is applying it?
Not even in Rasikaranjani. It is in the Hindi somewhere I saw it.
Ramachandra Iyer.
Not his own,
so
but I
Ramachandra
think
Iyer is not saying anything about this.
No,
Okay.
no, Ramchandra here only has said about this, and he has also probably taken it from some other
Okay.
text.
Got it.
It's
Got it.
maybe one
Got
of
it.
those
Okay.
people who opposed the Chitramimamsa.
I don't know. I
I
don't
mean, like
know if
Jagannatha Pandita, maybe.
Jagannatha Pandita only has given that, but I don't know if it is present
Mm.
there. Okay.
Okay.
So
Got it.
has he given another Tritiya Pratipasya Anyat Udaharanam? So the second Udaharanam for this third variety, Ahameva Guruhu Sudarunanam iti halahala masmatata dripyaha nanu santi bhavadrishani bhuyo भुवने अस्मिन् वचनानि दुर्जनानां हे हालाहल विषं प्रति तत्र संबोधनत्वेन so हालाहल विषं he calls this poison and says अहमेव सुदारुणानां गुरुः I am the guru, I am the teacher or the eldest person, Sreshtha, among all those who are very terrible, Sudaruna. सुदारुणानां मध्ये अहमेव गुरुः इति हे तात मास्म दृप्यः. Tata does not directly, you don't translate it as father or child, tatha nasti. Appa, appadi nenichikada, appdin solrom illiyo. It does not literally translate to father. Okay, so it's a kind of an endearment, or in a way you are trying to address the halahala with this word. That's all. Okay, so masma dripyaha, do not have this darpa with you. That is, do not be arrogant about the fact that you are the best among those who are all cruel. So visham usually is like mrityu. It causes maranam, but in a very terrible manner. That is, it burns up the insides and all that, right? So here nanu santi bhavadrishani bhuyaha bhuvane asmin bhuvane, in this world, bhavadrishani durjananam vachanani santi eva santi nanu. There are definitely the words of the very wicked people, which is like you, which is like poison. That is, it is capable of burning the insides of a person who hears those words, and at the same time it can also spread the fumes in a way, like how halahalam spread everywhere and people were all suffering because of the fumes that came from the poison, right? Halahalam is the first poison that came out during Samudra Mathanam. So, atra darunata vishaye halahala tulya durjana vachana rupa upameya labhena. Now, what is our upamanam? The prasiddha upamanam is halahala visham. Darunata is the samana dharma that we are comparing the two with. So, darunata vishaye, in the matter of being terrible or cruel, durjana vachana rupa upameya labhena, because we have gotten an upameya in the form of durjana vachanam, in the form of the words of the wicked. Now those words are equal to halahala. Halahala tulya durjana vachana rupa upameya labhena, because we have gotten durjana vachanam, which is equal to, similar to halahalam in the matter of darunata. Avarnyasya, which is the upamanam, halahalasya, anadaraha, masma dripyaha iti uktva tatra anadaraha asti, halahalasya. This is the third variety. Not clear?
Now they are only in the third variety they are saying upamanasya asahamanatvam. So why don't we say the same for upameyasya asahamanatvam in the second version?
Because for the upameya there is always the utkarsha of upamanam.
So that but now we have changed it and upameyam has become the upamanam there, something like that is happening in the second version. So there we can't say that upameyasya asahamanatvam.
Upameyasya asahamanatvam எதுக்கு சொல்லணும்னா சொல்லிக்கோங்க. It's not going to matter at all.
Third version.
That can be the case. That is his way of explaining, but that doesn't have any implication towards the explanation of the alankara.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, and there is a word called prasajjayitva for this aparam udaharanam explanation. Why that is a...
எங்க இருக்கு prasajjayitva?
Page 63 in the Rasikaranjini explanation.
இங்க இருக்கு.
Just below this Tritiyam Aparam Udaharanam.
Though in the he is given this entire thing about
Tritiyam
சொன்னேனே.
Pratikam Aparam Udaharanam.
வரேன்,
No,
வரேன்.
you've gone very, you have to come
No,
back.
no.
Page 63.
Okay, 63, yeah, 60,
Oh, I don't know
61,
the PDF. I mean the
இல்ல
book
இல்ல
page.
இதுதான் பாக்குறேன், புக் பேஜ் தான் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கேன்.
Below that.
இதோ
There.
இருக்கு.
Yeah, the Prasiddhaitva is there, right?
எங்க இருக்கு?
Mukha Sadrishyam something is there. No, that is not it. That is Aparam Udaharanam. You haven't read it yet. Ahameva.
No, இதோ இருக்கு. அகமேவ குருஹு சுதாருணானாம் இதி ஹலாஹல மாஸ்ம திருப்யஹ இருக்கு. அப்புறம் என்ன?
There only that is thing Prasiddhaitva is there in my book.
எங்க போட்டிருக்குன்னு புரியல. நீங்க எனக்கு அப்புறம் போட்டோ எடுத்து அனுப்புங்க. I'll try to explain it. I'll send you இது.
Okay.
Now the fourth variety of Pratīpam. Varnyena Anyasya Upamayaha Anishpatti Vachaha. This is just an extra fitting from the third one. That's all. So now we have settled both Varnyam as the Upameyam. Upamanam, Prasiddha Upamanam is your Upamanam. So that part has not changed at all. Only the first and second we switched it over. Now from the third we are going back to the original Upama kind of thinking, where the Upameya is okay, one minute. Varnyena Anyasya Upamayaha Anishpatti Vachanaha. Correct. Varnyam is your mukam, but I think Tvanmukhabam kila ambujam iti. I think the switch is happening here. Let me see what I did. I think switch has not happened. Okay. Varnyena Avarnyasya Upamayaha Anishpatti Vachaha tat Mugdhapavado Mugdhakshi Tvanmukhabam kila ambujam. Now, if you are trying to do Pratīpam, then it is a waste. So you cannot even try to compare this object. So first is you are trying to say that there is another object which is better. So I will take that Upamanam, which is the Prasiddha Upamanam, as the Varnyam. Iti yadi chintayasi, tarhi tatra, that cannot even compare with what I have on hand. That is the kind of description he gives here. So Varnyena, what I am trying to describe here, Varnyena Mukhadina Anyasya Upamayaha Anishpatti Vachaha. There cannot be a comparison at all, because my Varnyam is so superior. So I cannot think of comparing this to another object at all. Mugdha apavadaha, he Mugdhakshi. Mugdhakshi, one who has innocent eyes. So he Mugdhakshi, Tvanmukhabam ambujam iti Mugdhapavadaha kila. To say that the lotus is looking like your face is actually a Mugdha apavadaha. It's a Mugdhasya eva pralapaha iti. One who does not even understand what is the actual situation. It is a person who is a fool. It is a fool's prattle.
Mudha.
Oh, mudhava. Sorry. Oh, okay. Apo waste abdin artham. Mudha is vyartham. Apavadaha eva. It is only a rumor that is being spoken about. Okay.
Punaha. Tvanmukhabam kila ambujam iti prataktya. If you take it, the vacuum separately, Tvanmukhabam kila ambujam is like it's an affirmation of the fact that ambujam is Tvanmukhabam. But then he's saying there is mudha apavada. He's saying that statement is a waste.
Waste.
Is that what he's doing?
Yes.
So he's first saying the thing, and then he's saying it's a waste.
Yes. So which means I cannot do the Pratīpam at all.
Yeah. So he's saying the Pratīpam, and then he's saying that that Pratīpam is impossible, basically.
But he starts off by saying it is impossible. If you look at the shloka.
It's impossible to say that the Ambuja is like your face. Ambuja is equal in brilliance to your face. It's impossible to say that.
Yeah.
So in other words, okay, fine. So it's Atyanta Tiraskaraha, right? Or maybe not.
No, it's just an upama anishpatti. There is no possibility of an upama at all here.
Okay.
You want to read the vritti?
I'm actually driving.
Okay, Swati can continue then. No problem.
वर्ण्येन मुखादिना अन्यस्य अवर्ण्यस्य चन्द्रादेः उपमेयत्वेन कल्पितस्य उपमाया सादृश्यस्य अनिष्पत्तिवचनं यत्तत् पूर्वेभ्यः अपि उत्कर्षशाली चतुर्थं प्रतीपम्.
So varnyena mukhadina, by using this mukham that I am describing here, anyasya avarnyasya, that which I don't want to that which is not the subject of varnana, subject of description, which is your upamanam, chandradehe upameyatvena kalpitasya. You are actually trying to do it as a switch it as an upameyam. But you are saying that the upama itself is not possible. Upamayaha sadrishyasya anishpatti vachanam. There is no possibility of it. Iti yat tat, describing in this manner, this Pratīpa is different from the earlier varieties, and it is also even better. Utkarshashali, it's also even superior to the earlier Pratīpas. By saying it is even, to think of such a possibility itself is a waste. Mudha apavadaha.
He mugdhakshi ambujam twan mukhabam twan mukhatulya shobham kila iti vartayam. Iti varta mugha apavadaha.
Mudha apavadaha.
Mudha apavadaha asatyo janapravadaha. Iti udaharanam.
So it's a mudha apavadaha is false. It is a false information or a janapravada, a rumor among people that people are trying to say that this lotus is like your face.
So there is no possibility of upama at all here.
Yes.
Atra ambujasya prasiddha upamanasya tanvi mukhena upameyena sadrishyasya anishpattihi mudhapavada iti anena ukta iti lakshana samanvayah.
So prasiddha upamanam is ambujam, tanvi mukham is the upameya, and sadrishyasya anishpattihi. That is, it can't even, by saying mudha apavadaha, he is saying that it is only a rumor, there is no possibility of a sadrishyam. Okay.
Ma'am, and so then is this the fourth variety, is this dependent on the usage of the word like mudha or something like that?
ஆமா, மித்யா ஜனாபவாதா அந்த மாதிரி அடுத்ததுலயும் வரும். பாமரைஹி உபமீயதே அப்படின்னு சொல்றார். இட் கேன் பி டிஃபரெண்ட். வச்சனீயம் இந்த மாதிரி வேர்ட்ஸ். ஸோ லைக் அப்பன்னுதி, கைதவாப்பன்னுத்தின்னுட்டு there is a even உபமாவே எடுத்துக்கோங்களேன். உபமா is dependent on the words like இவ, துல்லியம் இத்தியாதிகம், right? லுப்தோபமாவா இருந்தா you don't need upama vachaka shabda. You say still it expects an upama vachaka, but it is not present அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம், right? So you need the presence of certain words. The same way there is another variety called kaitavapannuti, where you need the words like vyaja, இது kaitava, இந்த மாதிரி words எல்லாம் வேணும். You need it. Otherwise it's not that particular variety. இப்போ உத்பிரேக்ஷா எடுத்துட்டோம்னா கூட you need words like நூனம், த்ருவம், இவ, இதெல்லாமும் வரப்போகுது.
Okay, yeah, because what I was interpreting them as like Tritiyam, and the third variant was more like a negative connotation. Mariyu, and fourth is like more of praising somebody and like not able to equate somebody's
correct. If somebody is trying to equate, then it is a rumor. That's what it's a false statement.
Okay. இப்ப அதுவே இப்ப கஹா க்ரௌரிய தர்பஹ தேவே வந்து கஹா தைர்கிய தர்பஹ தே பாண தவ துல்யாஹ சந்தி ஸ்திரிஹ
லோச்சனானி.
it is a fourth variant ஆயிடும் இல்லையா?
இல்லையே, அங்கேயும் தர்பஹா போட்டோம்னா உங்களுக்கு வந்து உனக்கு என்ன இப்ப பெரிய அரகன்ஸ் இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொன்னாலே அது அனாதரா. You are showing a sort of an insult there. Whereas here சும்மாவான சொல்றாப்பா அப்படின்னா this is more a milder variety of saying that it can, of saying the impossibility of it.
Okay.
நீ கர்வப்படுற பாசிபிலிட்டி இருக்கலாம். People may try to compare you with another person. There is a possibility of comparison. But you don't need to feel so highly about yourself. There is another thing that is tulyam to you. இங்க வந்து there is nothing equal to you னு சொல்றோம்.
Okay, sure. That is more of like context like oodal or
ஆமா ஆமா
stiffங்கறால அது மாதிரி love.
ஆமா அந்த மாதிரி வெச்சுக்கலாம்.
அந்த மாதிரி சமயத்துல ஓகே.
இங்க வந்து ரொம்ப சிருங்காரம் இங்க. இது டைரக்டாவே அவளை வர்ணிக்கிறது. சும்மாவானு சொல்றாபா அவன நீ வந்து இப்படி இருக்கேன்னு அப்படின்னு அந்த மாதிரி சொல்றச்சு. then it is the fourth variety.
There is no anadara involved here.
No.
Lot of adara, but anyway. So mugdakshi, so my question is on the word. So when you say mugdakshi, the word mugdha, you interpret it as innocent, or do you think of it as, how do you interpret the word here in the compound?
Innocent da. Mugdha is more like innocent, one who does not have that hav bhav, you know, who does not and madri artless.
You used to say about Malvika also as like mugdha naika.
Artless, who doesn't know much and mari eduthu.
But the English one says oh lady of bewitching eyes.
Adu ava edavadhu potukkom.
So that is taken as mohayati iti is taken, but it won't fit because mugdha is I think the rudi artha is kind of like innocent one as opposed to as opposed to bewitching one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the mugdha is actually past participle of muhdatu, which means the confused one, but that doesn't fit. More like innocent one, right?
Yeah, innocent is better.
The innocent-eyed lady, the doe-eyed lady, innocent-eyed lady.
அம்புஜே முக சாத்ருஷ்யம் பிரசஞ்சனம்னா அப்ப அந்த இடத்துல வந்து பிரசஞ்சயித்வானா you are trying to connect ன்னு அர்த்தம். That's all.
But this is not like Chvi Pratyaya, which can have both Twa and Lyap, right? So why it's not having any Lyap? Why Twa?
அது தெரியல எனக்கு. பிரசஞ்சங்கிறது தாத்துவா இருக்கும், எனக்கு தெரியாது. பிரங்கிறது உபசர்க்கமா என்ன?
G, some two upasarga, pra, some and then G1. So that's it. And then Lyap.
Not necessary. பிரசஞ்ச இத்வான்னு போட்டிருக்காருன்னா அது வந்து இதுவா இருக்கலாம். பிரசஞ்ச could be some, he has taken it as Vishadayati kind of thing, or prasanja itself is the dhatu there.
Oh.
Where a dhatu vritti edukkarche you can even have something like that. I don't know why he has used it. If he has used it, prayoga sharanaha eva vayyakaranaha. Okay. So the
he's connecting his train of thought from one example to the other by giving a connection, like how Shankara does between between the two shlokas in the Gita. Like he's connecting it, right? That's why the saying it that way, right?
Yeah. So chaturtha pratipasya aparam udaharanam akarnaya sarojakshi vachaniyam idam bhuvi shashankas tava vaktrena pamarai rupamiyate. Hey Sarojakshi, ones whose eyes are like Saroja, like lotus. Vachaniyam idam bhuvi akarnaya. Bhuvi idam vachaniyam akarnaya. Vartate. Yet bhuvi idam vachaniyam vartate. Pattu akarnaya. Listen to this rumor or this mithya vakyam that is floating around on this earth. They say tava vaktrena shashankaha Pamaraihi upamiyate. People who don't know anything. Pamara is a person who is a normal simpletons, village people kind of stuff. So they are not very in the Pamarangarthukku வந்து சூதுவாது தெரியாதும்போ தமிழ்ல. They don't know how to act in a devious manner. So it is only Pamaraihi, those people, innocent people, are trying to compare your face to the moon. Tava vaktrena shashankaha upamiyate. The moon is being compared to your face. Clear? So the same here also anadara is mentioned. So atra vaktrena shashankasya sadrishyam pamaraihi eva uchyate natu vidagdhaihi. So it is only the simple people who are trying to compare your face to the moon. तच्च वचनीयम् इत्यनेन सादृश्यस्य अनिष्पत्तिः एव प्रकाश्यते. And that is something that you can't do it. It's only people who are not intelligent enough to understand this beauty. They are only going to compare this. Tasmad idam bhuvi vachaniyam iva vartate. So vachaniyam is something that is untrue. Yeah. That is chumma oru edo pech avladhan அப்படிங்கிறோம்.
So one more time, vachaniya means something that's worthy of being said. Vaktavyam iti. Katham idanim?
இல்ல அப்படி இல்ல. அது vachaniya is usually something that is to be blamed அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். It is a rudyartha there.
Oh, where is it? Like, can you show me where exactly? Where are you?
இல்ல இருக்கு, குமார சம்பவத்துல எல்லாம் இருக்கு. குமார சம்பவத்துல இருக்கு, கிராதார்ஜுனத்துல உண்டு. Just trying to figure out ஏதாவது ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள்.
Okay, இல்ல பரவாயில்ல. இப்போ இங்கே okay fine. Okay, got it. Okay, so
ஃபிஃப்த்ல ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஒன்னு போட்டிருக்காரு. ந காமவிருத்திஹி வச்சனீயம் ஈக்ஷதே அப்படின்னு ஃபிஃப்த் சர்க்கால குமார சம்பவத்துல இருக்கு. So one should not blame the actions of Manmatha.
Vachaniyam is one should not say that this is because of Manmatha, I think. Okay. So it should not vachan. But na vaktavyam na vachaniyam anga irukku illaya?
Na vachaniyam idam tu vachaniyam eva iti. So which means this is something just spoken like that. It is something that has to be, இது திட்டத்துக்கு தான் உகந்ததா இருக்குன்னு அர்த்தம். நிந்தனீயம் இத்யர்த்தே ஏவ தத்ர வர்த்ததே.
Okay, ஆகர்ண்ய சரோஜாக்ஷி வச்சனீயம் இதம் புவி. Oh, nindaniyam iti va.
Nindaniyam, or you take it as apavadaha, like a rumor, it is a false talk, அப்படி எடுத்துக்கணும் அது வச்சனீயம்ங்கிறது. It's a rudyartha that we commonly see in kavyas. நிறைய வரும் இது.
So here the Nayaka is basically saying Akarnaya means Shrunu iti here, right? So hey Sarojakshi Shrunu iti. Idam bhuvi vachaniyam eva. This thing is to be criticized in this earth, that they try to compare your that the fools try to compare your face, the moon to your face.
The moon with your face.
So okay. So in this word, the Nayaka is very clever because he is saying that he is very intelligent at the same time and he's praising the Nayaka at the same time.
Yeah, it's only pamaraihi eva tatra upamiyate na tu madrisha vidagdena iti. Okay. Next வந்து கைமர்த்தியம். So we'll probably take this up next class. அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன 2 ஸ்லோகம் இருக்கு. அப்புறம் ரூபக அலங்காரம், அதுவும் பெருசு. Okay.
Oh yeah, that na they also can be used as the sadrishya vachika shabdaha, right? You said that from Vedas and all they have na.
வேதத்துல மாத்திரம் தான் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். You can't use na as a sadrishya vachika padam in kavyam.
Okay.
It's very clearly in Veda. Vede eva na ityatre iti ivarthe upayujyate.
Okay.
Kavya tradition has a different tradition. So you need to look at how other people have written kavyams and what is the usage that they have given. Based on that you can use. Otherwise you can't just randomly say, oh na is ivarthe api na vidyate iti karanat atra iva iti swikurmaha. Then the whole point of the shloka itself will be gone then. Nobody uses it like that.
Okay.
Ma'am, one more question. Sorry. For comparison பார்த்தோம்னா, like this Pratīpa alankara seems to like the superiority of the upameya வந்து it's like if you want to please somebody then like upameya is superior to the standard of comparison. It pleases a person more. Then I'm just curious why we like poets don't use this as often as like upama, like why Kalidasa somebody chose to use upama. ஏன்னா இது வந்து it's even more pleasing somebody, like
yes, it is pleasing to the other person, but at the same time it is too vachyam. See, as you read further when you go to alankara shastra as such, which is better? Is it arthalankara or is it something that is vyangya? You want this to be in the vyangya portion. You don't want it plainly said. அது கொஞ்சம் அந்த இளமரவு காய்மரவா இருந்தாதான் இன்னும் அதுக்கு வந்து சுவாரஸ்யம். நேர பளிச்சுன்னு முகம் அழகா இருக்குன்னு சும்மா சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கான்னு சொல்றதுல பிரயோஜனமே இல்லை. அது ஒரு இதுவா இருக்கணும். இட் ஷுட் பி மோர் இன் த சஜஷன் ரெல்ம் ராதர் தென் இன் த வாட்சியா ரெல்ம். Then it is even more beautiful.
Also, I think it only works in certain situations, like, you know, when the Nayaka and Nayika are together. In certain situations it works. It doesn't work all the time.
You'll find this kind of description in idu adenna Satyasai Gatha Saptashati அப்படின்னு ஒரு டெக்ஸ்ட் இருக்கு. இட் இஸ் அ பிராகிருத் டெக்ஸ்ட். ஸோ யூல் ஃபைண்ட் திஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன்ஸ் ஆர் திஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ஸ் இன் தோஸ். இது வந்து இட் ஆல்சோ ஹேஸ் டு லீட் டு ரசா அட் சம் பாயிண்ட் ஃபார் யூ டு டிரைவ் மோர் பிளஷர் அவுட் ஆஃப் த ஸ்லோகா. வெறும்னா இப்படி இருந்ததுனால அது ஒன்றும் பெரிய ஒரு அழகு இல்லை அவளை பொறுத்தவரை.
Can we say like for like Kalidasa, your kritis are compared to Shakespeare by Pamaras?
True.
On that note, we can stop.
Okay.
Correct. Perfect.
Okay.
But Vakya Alankara, does it have, we have Shabda Alankara and Artha Alankara, but Vakya Alankara doesn't have any beda, just one generic term called Vakya Alankara.
That is chumma, it is a stylistic way of writing. In you'll see that kind of an expression in Vyakhyanas. So when
There's
they
no
say
variety
Vakya
to it.
Alankara, it is just chumma adu pola அப்படிங்கிறோம். That doesn't mean there is an actual comparison between two objects there. When you use iva iti Vakya Alankare, it's a stylistic way of saying, that's all.
Okay.
Okay.